It is Good Friday in the year 1300, and Dante Alighieri is lost in a dark wood as he tries to rediscover the path he lost sight of. As Dante wanders aimlessly through the dark wood, he comes across three creatures that block the path he is trying to follow: a leopard, a lion, and a she-wolf. Unable to continue on the path in front of him, a discouraged Dante returns again to the dark wood. When Dante returns to the woods, he meets the ghost of the great poet Virgil, who says that he is there to guide Dante back to his enlightened path to the top of the mountain. Virgil proceeds to tell Dante that the path will not be easy. Dante will have to travel through hell and eventually heaven, where he will be able to see his beloved Beatrice, who, along with two other holy women, saw that Dante had lost sight of his path, and asked for Virgil to guide him back to the light. The first stop on Dante's path to return to the light is hell, that is marked with the haunting and rather profound inscription, "Abandon all hope, you who enter here." The first area of hell, the outlying region dubbed the Inferno, is where all souls that were unable to commit to good or evil, Christianity or paganism, are tormented for eternity by hornets and worms while chasing a blank banner that in life might have read with a final commitment. As Dante and Virgil continue to make their way through the outer regions of hell, they come across Charon, the boatman, who then takes the two across the river Acheron. As Dante and Virgil descend deeper into hell, Dante sees the first circle, which contains pagans that lived before Christ, such as Virgil himself. It is here that Dante meets other great minds of antiquity, Lucan, Ovid, and Horace. Dante enters the second circle of hell to find it filled with the lustful, caught in a horrific, never-ending storm, and meets Francesca, daughter of the Lord of Ravenna, and her adulterous lover and brother-in-law, Paolo de Rimini. The descent continues even further into hell, and Dante is able to see the punishment of those that fall into the following three circles. The gluttonous occupy the third circle and are forced to wallow in mud, while filth and excrement rain down as the only means to satisfy their eternal hunger. The fourth circle contains those afflicted by greed, their punishment being to charge at one another with giant boulders, eternally continuing the destruction of their greedy lives. It is in the fifth circle that Dante gladly sees a political enemy, Filippo Organetti, being torn apart by other wrathful souls while trapped in the river Styx. Between the fifth and sixth circles of hell lies the city of Dis, completely occupied by demons that refuse Dante and Virgil access to the city and remaining circles of hell, until an angel comes down to force open the gates for Dante and Virgil. The heretics dwell within the confines of the sixth circle, where yet another political rival of Dante's dwells, Farinata. A river of boiling blood lies in the first part of the seventh circle, a river that contains these so violent in life that they could not bring anything but more violence. Between the first and second part of the seventh circle, Dante and Virgil meet a centaur, Nessus, that carries them to the second part of the seventh circle, which contains the souls that committed suicide. These souls are condemned to spend their eternal lives as trees cannot choose when to die. The remaining parts of the seventh circle, containing the blasphemous, those who are violent towards God, the sodomites, those that are violent with or against nature, and the usurers that directed violence towards art. The further Dante and Virgil descend into hell, the further apart the circles are. To cross the abyss before the eighth circle, the help of Charon is enlisted. The eighth circle of hell contains frauds of numerous sorts, such as seducers and Simeonics, punished with whips and fires that burn eternally. Those that flattered with lies are forced to lay in a river of feces. Those that are forced to wear their heads backward are astrologists that see a different view than God. Those that were seduced by bribes are torn apart by demons, while those that walk while wearing robes of lead are hypocrites. Dante witnesses souls being bit by vipers, and other souls, which are said to be thieves, that must ultimately steal a piece of life from another to replace what is taken from them. Access to the ninth and final circle of hell is found at the bottom of the Giant's Well, belonging to Ateneus, set in a frozen lake. Sania is the first ring of the ninth circle, and is occupied by those that betrayed their families, and are punished by being frozen up to their necks. Atenora is the second ring, and is occupied by those that betrayed the trust of their countries. The third ring, Ptolemaea, contains souls laying on the frozen lake for betraying guests. The fourth ring contains those that committed treason against their lords, both holy and earthly, aptly named Judeca. At the end of the 9 circles lies a 3-headed Lucifer, chewing on the bodies and souls of the 3 greatest sinners that could not fit into any of the circles: Judas, Cassius, and Brutus. To leave the darkest pits of hell, Dante and Virgil must walk around Lucifer to the Lethe, the river of forgetfulness, and from there return to earth. The 2 poets complete their journey and arrive back on earth during the misty morning of Easter Sunday.